Hey guys, welcome back. On today's episode of Life with Spike, I'm going to show you how to run your high-powered gaming laptop directly off of your 12-volt system. And what I've got here, I'm going to show you guys how you can do it and you can wire it up. I can also include the link on what I'm using. Now some of you might say, well, you could just power it by USB-C. It supports 100 watts. Well, this laptop does pull 125 watts. So what I've got here is a DC to DC converter that can put out 190 watts. Now I could have gotten a little bit smaller, but I figured if I want something that is going to perform its best, this was probably one of the better options, considering electronics do perform most efficient between 70 and 80%. So if I'm doing any rendering, video editing, things like that, this will be running at its peak efficiency at all times. So I've got it all set up and I've got it hooked and ready to go. All I have to do is the last step is connect the barrel plug to the system. I haven't quite got that far yet because all I have to do is cut this right off here and then we can directly mount to this wire. And then all I have to do is connect my relay, my switch, which is going to turn it on or off so it doesn't use power while I'm not using it. And I got to connect all these to the fuse panel. So we're going to take you along step by step on show you guys how this is done. First off is you've got to actually know a little bit about electronics and circuits. So best actually draw out a diagram of where each wire goes so you're not making any mistakes along the way. Because, you know, $500 mistake could cost you your laptop. All right, moving on. So this states right here, this is the output wire. So this is the positive. ChatGPT recommended I put a fuse block in there because sometimes I run things by him. And we've got a fuse in here. We'll put a 10 amp fuse in here. And this is our 12 volt input. Right off the bat, it was easy enough. I just had to extend this so that it actually reached where the negative bus bar is. And this is going to grab power from the relay. This is a little cheat sheet on where everything goes. Now, it did come with a fifth wire, but I pulled the fifth wire out. It was a red wire in the center. That's for a different situation, which I don't need right now. The white wire is our switch. So this needs to be a circuit on for this to send power to that. And then the black and yellow wire is where it gets its power from, which we're going to connect to that fuse panel. Now I'm going to probably couple the porch lights, this one and this one, on one fuse block. And then we'll have an empty one right there for our laptop. And for those of you who watched my last video, Starlink is running. It is activated. I've had it running for 24 hours a day for the last week, and it's running solid. I'm going to probably mount this somewhere so it's easily accessible and not banging around when I'm traveling down the road. Now that I've explained all of this, I'm going to take my voltmeter, cut this wire, figure out which wire is which, crimp them to this, and I'm going to mount it up in that corner. I'll show you guys when I'm done. Okay, I've got everything pretty well wired. Got it bolted up there. The relay's there. And the barrel plug is attached. I just haven't put a fuse in here and I haven't put a fuse in there yet. But it is connected right there. I swapped the two overhead lights to this fuse, and seems like everything is plugged in and ready to go. I haven't mounted the switch yet, but I think I'm just gonna cut a hole right here. Wow, blurry, there you go. I'm gonna cut a hole right here. Got the Dremel out, some goggles. So we're gonna give it a try. And then I have the hole saw out too, and I think I'm gonna cut a hole right here and put all these cables and stuff through, because now I've got an Ethernet cable, I've got this permanent power cable, We got 2 power cables for the monitor and the security cable that we can all route through a little hole here. And I've got a couple of these, so I've caught it up. We're gonna see if we can mount this in there and see if we can get it to work. I think it'll work fine. Even if I gotta use a little double-sided tape or something to keep it sticking or staying. But basically, I don't want the wires rubbing up against this stuff. So we're gonna see what we can do. I know this is like 3/8 inch. This is like not 3/8, but we're gonna figure it out. We'll see how it works. Moment of truth. Let's throw a fuse in it and see what happens. So we've got, need a 10 amp fuse. Oh, we got one right there. I need a 15 amp fuse. We'll pop it in here. No blue smoke, which is good. Turn the light or the DC to DC controller on. So we're going to take our voltage meter here. Okay, hopefully now you guys can see. Got the voltage meter set up. Got red to positive. We'll throw it in this one. And then we're just going to touch the barrel. Make sure we got the right voltage in the right spot. 19.2. I think the laptop will be okay with it. Because it accepts 18 or something like that. 17 to 21 or something like that. So let's plug it in. Test it out. Basically, we're going to look for this light to go on. Look at that. Light comes on. Power is on. We have laptop power. And then we should just be able to disconnect it here. By disabling that, light goes off. Sweet. So my little 12 volt conversion works. It can provide, 125 watts. And just to prove it, looking at that number right there, 135 watts. 19.5 volts. There you go. Done and done. This one says 19.5 volts, 7 amps. So that should be sufficient enough to power this laptop. This is amazing. I'm so excited. I think I'm going to figure out how to cut a hole in here. I'm going to mount this somewhere. So I got a few things to tuck away, a few things to do. I am literally sweating like crazy. So I'm going to go inside, take a break, have a drink of water, have a sip of tea, relax for a little bit, and then I'm going to finish this up. But hopefully you guys find that informative. If you guys want to do a laptop conversion kit, it's pretty easy to do. And if you need help and you have nobody to help you, message me and I'll give you a hand. And if you don't have access to message me through Discord or Instagram or things like that, then hit the comments down below or ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT seems to be very helpful and confirming that everything was within spec and within, the best efficiency and all that. It just worked out pretty good. Anyways, now I don't have to run the inverter to power my laptop. That's exciting. But I'm going to tie this all together. I was going to record a video ending my trip and things got busy, things got hectic, and my family needed me. So I ended up just taking the time off just to spend time with my family. Now I've been hanging out with my son lately, and we've just been chilling, relaxing, avoiding the heat. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace out.